I've been cycling in Sheffield all my life, and I know Sheffield's hills, I know Sheffield's people. It's a challenging place to cycle, anybody would say that, but that's a plus, that's a good thing. People enjoy the hills in Sheffield. So what I've found is that Sheffielders, over perhaps the last 10 years, last 5 years even, there's been a real change in people's attitude here. People used to, there'd be a few cyclists, there'd be a few lycra men, there'd be a few people who were really keen. But the average Joe at the factory, at the call centre, would think it's not for me. But that's changed. More people are now saying, maybe it's a possibility. And I think there's a lot more that can be done to get those ordinary folk to get out cycling.
So how would you get South Yorkshire cycling?
I think the way I'd like to get South Yorkshire cycling is to go to places where people are. So to go to companies, to go to community centres, that sort of place. Talk to folk, find out maybe what's putting them off, what's stopping them cycling. Maybe find some people in that company who are riding a bike. Get them talking to each other. I think that's important. It's no good dictating from above. This is how you should cycle. People aren't interested in that. They want to know how they can cycle. They want to know how to get to their company, their workplace. That might be across a busy road or up a big hill.
What still are some of the barriers to getting people cycling?
Some of the barriers, I think, are obvious. So the hills are a barrier to some people, but by no means as big a barrier as people think. The road situation is always a bit of an issue, so you need to talk to people about how they can get around that, find a different route, learn a few tips about how to cope with traffic. These are perhaps the big ones, but I think one of the unseen barriers is still that idea that, is it for me? Is it something that people are going to laugh at me about? And I think that's going down. That idea is reducing in Sheffield now, but there are still some people who think it isn't for me. And so the answer to them is, well, have a go. Try it. It might not be for you, but at least have a go. And so a scheme that says, have a month of cycling, see how it goes for you, is perhaps the answer for those sorts of folk. And some of those people will take it up.
I'm Andy Kershaw from BBC Radio Sheffield. I've known David Bocking as a cycling journalist and enthusiast for many years. He's well able to promote cycling in the city of Sheffield, which has a big cycling culture now. But there are plenty of barriers against people taking up the bike, and David is well equipped to address those barriers. He's got some great ideas for Love to Ride in Sheffield, and I hope you'll support him.